guys are watching NBA Now here live on Chat Sports. I am your host, Harris Rubenstein. You can follow me on Twitter at Sportstein for all your NBA news and updates. I want to thank you guys for coming along with the show today. Obviously, the Anthony Davis news is really everything that anyone wants to talk about right now. But let's talk about Anthony Davis in spectrum to the Los Angeles Lakers. So as we went over before, we know that Anthony Davis has requested a trade from the Pelicans, and according to Adrian Wojnarowski, who said this at the start of the season, and he also reaffirmed this on ESPN this morning, the Lakers will be quote-unquote aggressive in their pursuit of Anthony Davis, and that most of the team's young talent could be traded. Now, I said this before and I'll say it again. We had another report from Sam Farmer of the LA Times this morning that a deal for Anthony Davis would have to start with Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Ivica Zubac, and a first-round pick. That is where this trade would have to start. So already the Lakers are going to have to give up the prettiest of all pennies in order to give up Anthony Davis. But the real question that we need to ask ourselves right now is whether or not the Lakers simply have enough young assets in order to get Anthony Davis. Because if you're the Pelicans, you can just wait. Why wait? Why trade him now? Why not just wait until the summer and have teams bid against each other to drive up the price for Anthony Davis? The Pelicans have one shot to get this right. One shot to get this right. Because we have seen in the NBA for the past 5 years, how you trade your superstar will determine how your team does for the future. The Orlando Magic kind of botched the Dwight Howard trade. They were never able to recover, still haven't since. The Denver Nuggets didn't make that great of a deal for Carmelo Anthony. They still haven't recovered. The team that did make a good trade for their superstar, the Indiana Pacers for Paul George, they have reignited their franchise with Oladipo despite the injury on top of the Sabonis kid that they got as well, who's been great off the bench for them this year. I am a little bit worried as to the Pelicans not getting enough for Anthony Davis, and that basically ending any hope of their franchise being successful. It's either they get enough for Anthony Davis and they can remain relevant, or they don't get enough from him and they likely end up getting shipped to Seattle. So the Anthony Davis trade is really going to shift the balance of the entire NBA, but especially for the Western Conference. Got a question here from Sug Pat, and then I'm looking at the comments saying, why wouldn't the Lakers make this move? That's a good question. I said this before, and I'll mention this again. The reason the Lakers won't make this or shouldn't make this trade is because it's simply too expensive. And they can use their young talent to go get a Bradley Beal, to go get a CJ McCollum, to go get a player that's still relative of age to Anthony Davis, but won't cost literally half of their entire team. Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Ivica Zubac, and 2 first-round picks are what we here at Chat Sports are predicting the Lakers would have to give up for Anthony Davis. That is a fat package. Fat package. I cannot remember a team giving up that many young players for one single guy in a very, very, very long time. Melo wasn't given up for that much. Dwight Howard wasn't given up for that much. Paul George was given up for literally 3 times less than that right there. So the Anthony Davis trade is really going to shift the hopes and dreams for a lot of different franchises. But I will say this in spectrum to the Lakers and with LeBron James. Very interesting timing on this trade request, isn't it? Very interesting that this is happening the first day of Super Bowl week. And also, right before the trade deadline. And also, maybe a couple games before LeBron James returns to the court for the Lakers. Very interesting timing. Let me know in the comments section below, will the Lakers trade for Anthony Davis? I say they're going to try hard as hell, but I don't think they are going to be able to get it done. If you guys want to make some money this NBA season, head to chatsports.com/bet. I want to thank BetDSI coming along for the ride today. Use that promo code NBA120 for a 120% deposit bonus. What is a deposit bonus? You deposit $100, use that promo code NBA120, and you get $120 for free. Chatsports.com/bet. Bet on the Super Bowl, bet on a couple great NBA Super Bowl day odds as well. Going to be a great day to make some money with BetDSI. Let's talk about the Lakers possibly trading for AD at the deadline. So the timing for this Anthony Davis trade is imperative. Why? Because the Lakers have an opportunity here to beat the Celtics to the punch. They clearly requested this trade now to force a deadline move. obvious. Anthony Davis wants to be out of New Orleans as fast as possible. He wants to put the pressure on the Lakers to make a move for the deadline because obviously Clutch Sports wants all of its eggs in one basket, and they want Anthony Davis and LeBron James both in LA. The real question here, though, is when are the Pelicans going to actually trade Anthony Davis? Because as I've said now multiple times, they could just wait until the summer and have every single team in the NBA, besides the Detroit Pistons, as it's already come out, they're not going to make a trade for Anthony Davis. They're going to have every team in the NBA basically bidding against each other in order to get Anthony Davis. So if you're the Pelicans, you still have a ton of leverage. You still have a full year of Anthony Davis's contract. You have all the leverage in terms of waiting. I'd be very, very surprised if the Lakers actually are able to get Anthony Davis at the trade deadline.